And it's sort of...
Yes, and that's gonna be a very interesting thing actually, because Asia Seiyan has a lot to live up to. I mean, they were they are one of the top teams in Malaysia. Standing in their way is going to be FVMYA. What do you think about this?
It's going to be interesting because, you know, as much as, you know, MYA did beat them out, you know, in MPL, FVMYA has gone through roster changes.
Yes, exactly. So,
and you know, the power level, we have, you know, placed them. In case you haven't watched it yet, there's the power ranking video that is on the MSL page on Facebook, so you can check it out there. All three of the casters that were there, unfortunately Han was not there at that point, had placed them at the 8th spot, the weakest team to go there. However, with that being said, we also ranked EVOS relatively lower.
But just to let you know, EVOS right now is my favorite Indonesian early game team. Just so you know.
But it's also because it's the first team we've seen there, but still really impressive work coming up from them. Another thing is, Air Asia Seiyan has not actually played a competitive match since.
Exactly. So
we don't actually know whether the team has gotten better, stayed the same, or declined, and that's exactly it. Now, FVMYA has played in the qualifiers for MPL Season 2 for Malaysia and Singapore. Unfortunately, they did not make it.
Yes.
Will that be the burning fire that takes it to the next stage for them?
That's definitely something that you can say is a fire of motivation for them, because they not only want to live up to their name, they also want to show that our past failures is something that you have to put behind.
And here we go, right into game. Guys, we're trying to keep it, you know, in under 7 minutes of the introduction about the teams that's there, because we want to bring you the direct action about what's going to happen. On the blue side, it is going to be Team Air Asia Seiyan going up against the red side, FV Flash Vision. Mysterious Assassins.
Flash Vision and Mysterious as well as Assassins. So we're going to see that MYA is going to be on the red side, Air Asia Seiyan on the blue side. So I do believe that this is going to be very interesting. The Angela first ban here alongside with the Grok. So what do you think about these two bans here?
Well, I mean, we saw Angela play a really, you know, strong role that's there. Given that they ban out Angela here, they want to be picking up those assassins. So we're going to have, you know, the Gushen, Lancelot, Hellcat open here. Now that they do remove Hellcat, Gushen or Lancelot will be the one picked up. Potentially here, it also could be the Fanny that's left open.
Well, Hellcat now being banned out, so I do believe that either Gushen... I think Gushen should be banned out or picked here. So we do feel that, ooh, the Fanny being banned out here from the side of FVMYA. And immediately, King Fredo locks him in. What do you think about this first pick of Gushen here?
I definitely like the Gushen pick that's here. Gushen is a little bit more versatile than Lancelot on the other side, so giving, you know, maybe the little stepbrother over on the other side. But Martis being given up, that I don't quite agree with, because Martis has been shown to be really strong in this patch. However, I should say may have something just up their sleeve, which is why they're opting to go for the Gushen first. But given the double assassin composition that has been picked up here by MYA, they will need to have a pretty good supporting team behind them if those two are going to be the stars.
Hellcat and Chow right now being hovered over on the second rotation here. This Lancelot and Martis pickup here, this is going to be very, very interesting, because it does lock down their double assassin pickup here to maybe a bit of a support and tanky. They do need a little bit of CC and a little bit of sustainability for them to make sure that, hey, if your assassins go in, you need a little bit of sustain to make sure that they are able to fire it out. Gatot Kaca now being hovered over, and Hayabusa as well. What do you think about this? Gatot Kaca is not exactly like a pure tank or a pure bruiser. He's somewhere in the middle, in my opinion, depending on how you build him. So what do you think about this Gatot Kaca hover with the Hayabusa hover?
I'm really uncertain about the Gatot Kaca specifically, given that within this patch he seems to be a little bit further behind.
Vexana.
The Vexana,
this is what we need.
We talked about that a little bit in the previous game. Glad to see her appearance here. However, this is echoing what happened in the last qualifiers. They did pick up the Vexana over there. Unfortunately, there was not enough support for her.
Exactly.
You know, to really be shining through. Plus, now there are 4 direct damage dealers. It's a little bit insane coming through for the side of MYA. Asia Seiyan now has responded by picking up Kagura and Lapu Lapu.
Ooh, the cow, the cow. Is it the cow or is it the gatot? Is it the cow or is it the gatot?
Minotaur needs to be picked up here. I think Minotaur is the better option, given that when you go into rage, it's going to be the panda instead.
Well, we had to go through either a cow, a Gacha, or a Kai. So Akai is going to be picked up. So I do like this Akai pickup here. He goes into his ultimate, starts spinning to win. So he's going to be a bit of a problem once they start to engage. I think the problem here that's going to be shown in from the side of MYA is the fact that if Akai goes in and decides to initiate the fight, then they might not have any other options, because the problem with the side of AirAsia Cyan is the fact that they do have a little bit of disengage, they do have a little bit of range coming here, especially with the Kagura.
They do have a little bit of the crowd control. Lapu is there as well. What's interesting to note is that Akai is the only one carrying Petrify as well, out of all of the 10 of them. So we're not going to see a lot of staggered team fights. We are going to see lots of explosive action. And that's going to be sort of tipping point, not only in terms of just kills and the map pressure that they can get. But also in terms of can they take structures, because that will be the damage that sticks across the map for them.
Now we're gonna go into into match number 2 between AirAsia Cyan. Game number 1. Match number 2, game number 1 between AirAsia Cyan and Flash Vision Mysterious Assassin. AirAsia Cyan, surprisingly on the blue side, blue not their color, red is their color actually, and also FV MYA on the red side. So we're gonna see how this is gonna pan out here. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this early game. Let's talk a little bit of this early game advantage that is possessed by the side of MYA. They do have a lot of damage dealers, and they do have a little bit of crowd control that they can use for the early game. What do you feel is something that MYA could do to actually get this early game head over AirAsia Cyan?
A lot of things need to work out very specifically, given that the positioning, for instance, of Kagura back up top means that they have the versatility to take the early turtle. At the same time, having Martis up there to counter her, in the early game is also a really good adaptation coming up from MYA. If they don't struggle in the early game, they should have a little bit of the advantage going into the mid game. But previously, as what we saw, fights around the map objectives, 40 seconds before the turtle spawns. Will they be able to, eke that out a little bit, with Vexana, being such a powerhouse in the early...
Turtles spawning over to the top side of AirAsia Cyan's map. We're going to see that the rotations are upside here. Martis pushing out the Kagura onto the top, whereas there's going to be a small little fight here happening. Penjahat Kakap, they're going into it, and we might see the Ace FV. Oh, there he goes. Penjahat now gets caught into it. Rush comes in over to the bot side here. There's going to be a fight, but it's going to be Ace that goes down. Oh, First Blood goes over to MYA, but also
equalized immediately back.
Equalized beautifully by the side of AirAsia Cyan. Logan the Wolverine shows his regenerative abilities and walks away. Very nicely done here from either side of the team. First Blood advantage does go over to MYA, but AirAsia Cyan was quick to make sure that that particular fight was just 1-for-1.
I mean, it's also interesting here that, AirAsia Cyan has also gotten the goal lead simply because they are catching every single wave that comes through. And this is why they have, a very clean 800 goal lead at this point. It's not because of towers, it is just because of map presence and as well as the Hermit Crab, of course.
The Hermit Crab definitely adds a little bit more regeneration, and it definitely adds a little bit of sustainability for you over to the over on the off hat. There is going to be rotations here towards the turtle. Turtle is going to be the next priority that everyone wants to go after, and we do see MYA now pushing off to the fight first, and it's going to be bad here. MYA going to go down first. The Gushan manages to take down. AirAsia Cyan looking to spill red all over the floor as MYA, excuse me, are going to get taken down one by one. Lamar FB now looking towards getting away.
Lamar will be the only one left alive in that team fight. it was a little bit, of this over eagerness from the MYA side. They did not need to specifically take, or challenge the turtle for that matter. They could have been, defending and pushing the mid lane, for instance, or the bottom lane and send additional resources there. The choice to go in so heavily once again gets punished, and this is the power of Gusion, coming through, and which is why they first picked it.
Well, we do see that for the side of these teams here, they're going to be pushing off over to the top side, and this is going to be good 100 seconds until the turtle respawns again. So I do like this this opportunistic move that's been taken here by MYA. We do see that Martis is pushing out over to the top side, and this is going to be good for Paddle here. If he was able to get this extra added layer of aggression, then most members of MYA could actually go to the mid side and free up the top side of the map as well for them.
That's exactly right. So, having, either one of the lanes, the top or the bottom lane, freed up for them, will help them execute a little bit better. Padel does get caught out here, and with the stuns and slows coming out from either side of that, it is not going to be good enough, but instantly coming back, Lamar removing Kagura off the map. So that's a good thing of keeping Kagura. At this point.
Beautiful knock up there, but it's special coming in from the Cho now, knocking him up, but the follow-up will not be enough, as will the damage, so they will be able to get away, limp away though. Rush now, looking towards keeping up to his name, rushing in front of the enemy team of MYA. Air Asia Cyan looking towards making sure that they keep up this pressure here.
I do have to point this out, even though there is a tower goal lead ahead, and this is such, a clear example of lane dominance. We did not quite see this happening with the previous game with EVOS and IDNS, but here we go. To see that now nobody is here to catch the bottom wave just yet,
and that's the problem here. We do see Ace now and staying united, and look at that, the follow-up coming in from Panjahat living up to his name, goes up a little bit more damage, and he gets his killing spree. Will it be more though? GPEX now has got Gripex gotta get away, and there's gonna be revenge kills. MYA looking towards getting more and more aggressive. There goes the close down here, and Lamau gets taken down by the Gusion. This is where Logan the Wolverine is gonna shine, doing up as much damage as he can, but they will be able to get away. Look at that, Air Asia Cyan. Now everyone can be dominant. It seems that Air Asia Cyan looking to us staying dominant, looking to show that, hey, Mysterious Assassin, it's time for you to sit down.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at here, the team fights are not going into MYA's favor, but they seem so eager to be fighting over and over again. Not sure what exactly is guiding them to be doing as such. Keeping in mind here that Vexana is still only level 5, although the ultimate that she did use before helped severely. Shadow will, be unfortunately,
Shadow,
the sacrificial lamb in this case out here.
No,
does juke away. The ghost will help through, especially not taking on to Rush that's there. Will keep Shadow alive for a little bit longer. However, Lapu Lapu's going to go to the middle, take the tower away, and extend the goalie that much further. Padel as well, the sort of position and playstyle you want to be having as a Martis.
Now, as we see the amount of pressure that Air Asia Cyan is trying to get onto the top side here, Padel is going to be in a bit of trouble here. Gripex is joined to the fight. Shadow has come in, throws out a little bit of the spells here. Mega kill for the side Panjahat living up to his name. An evil man looking to do tons and tons of damage here. 415 with 4,000 gold in his pocket right now. But what's really important is King Fredo now sitting on 6,000 gold.
That is a lot of gold considering the other side of the team, is still struggling at 2,200. That's Akai, and Vexana's only at 2,500. It is such a dominating position for them to be in. We are barely hitting the 8-minute mark, but you can see the stranglehold being placed onto MYA's side here. Asia saying pretty methodical in how they're approaching these team fights.
Now, I do like this itemization here. A lot of good a lot of good mana regeneration for most of the spellcasters, and what's most important as well is the damage items that are coming in for most of these players here. With the amount of damage that they have, they already have most of their core items, so they are able to fight off most of these fights relatively easy against MYA. MYA, however, they've got to be careful on some of these fights. Could they be able to pull off an IDNS against Aegis Scion?
They will need to be really cautious, and the only time they can do this is if they take out Lord. And Aegis Scion is being really smart about it, not playing around their big objectives, given that they have taken the advantage already across the map.
Now, I do like how Aegis Scion is actually moving around. This is exactly how, this is a little bit reminiscent of match number 1, game number 1 and 2. But what Aegis Scion is doing better is just the fact that they're always sticking around with each other, and there's always a follow-up. We do see the Chow going in, but he's gonna get taken down, but the damage is gonna be good here. Padel is gonna get taken down by Penjahat. Penjahat doing tons and tons of damage here freely, and will be able to get taken away without much punish. In the meantime, gets a little bit of split push advantage over the bot side.
That was pretty spectacular. Flicker to get out. Out again, but like that,
wow.
You blinked, you missed it.
Wow, if you blinked, I blinked and I missed it. All I saw was just the kill feed that came up. And Jahat, with the amount of damage that he has, definitely ban out Gushen whenever Penjahat is playing. So we do see that Gushen now in a little bit of trouble here. Penjahat getting a little bit of taken down here, and he's going to get taken down from the side of MYA. Padel doing a little bit of damage here onto it, and Nin looking towards it, but nope. It's going to be more power coming in from that Yin Yang umbrella here, using it very well in these fights coming in from the side of Aegis Scion.
I mean, this is really tough for them because, you know, although they did manage to remove, you know, Penjahat's Gushen that's there, what you're seeing here is like, you know, a drop of water into the ocean. It's still an overwhelming tsunami that they're facing up against. That's a 10,000 goal lead and a 10 kill lead as well. Just like that, your tank disappears away and your chance of stealing Lord just went up in flames.
What's going on with MYA? I'm really surprised though. I mean, you don't send a tank like that on their own to scout it out. You gotta scout it out as a team. So I do feel that MYA is having a little bit of problems here with the rotations that is coming in. Aegis Scion seems to be a little bit more united as a unit, but MYA though a little bit fragmented in terms of their mentalities here. Not sure whether they want to commit into one thing or whether they want to be moving as a unit in the other, or they want to be taking off some split push fights. I'm really surprised to see MYA doing so badly against Aegis Scion in this game number 1. However, it is game number 1. They still have game number 2 to adjust.
Well, it's still not even over for game number 1 just yet. We'll be able to jump back there. Does catch out Cho, but will not be enough to be taken down. We're going to see the Hayabusa does go in, but will not quite get the kill there. Rush still does survive in the very end. Lord coming up from the bottom there. If any more members die, Fancier Shadow, unfortunately, has replaced all the way to the bottom. Logan will be escorting Lord into the base.
This is exactly the kind of play that we've expected from Aegis Scion. Just overall dominance, and most importantly, just overall pressure on all sides. Logan the Wolverine now is getting shutting him down with that Yin Yang umbrella, throwing it out. Look at the Jahat coming in to help, and it's going to be over for game number 1. Aegis Scion with the first win of match.
Was pretty textbook for them.
I guess it was very textbook coming in from the side of Aegis Scion. I mean, they've played. The thing I like about Aegis Scion is that they kind of wrote the textbook a little bit in a sense, and they don't innovate that much in terms of when they play in that particular playstyle.
Exactly, which is, you know, the sort of criticism I had in doing the power rankings, that if you can read them, if you can read the book that they wrote, you know exactly how to, you know, counter it and move around it. But still, congratulations to Aegis Scion for winning the first game. There's still going to be a second game where FVMYA will, you know, get a chance to, you know, get back into it. That's there. You're going to see a little bit of the items that's going to go on there. Just for a quick second. Unfortunately, Vex are now way behind it all.
Definitely way behind it all. I felt that a Harley would have been better, or heck, even a Cyclops would have been better. I mean, you had the star power lockdown, you're able to basically do tons of damage from quite a distance. But the only problem with it is that the immobility of most of these mages.
And that's the main point, right? We talked about, when Vexana was picked up, the same criticism was given to them as the previous draft that they did in the qualifiers as well. Where is the support system? How is Vexana supposed to, be that powerhouse when there isn't adequate enough, defense, lockdown to make sure that she is able to, shine through?
Well, I do like what is happening actually, like how these teams are actually formulating themselves, how they are actually moving around. But I felt that Asia Cyan just had a way better execution style. They just stayed together, and most importantly is that they moved as a unit. I feel that a lot of the middle tier teams have a bit of a problem moving as a unit. You need to move as a unit. You need to make sure that whenever you divert resources into a particular playstyle, whether it's to counter attack, whether it's to stop a push, whether it's to start a split push, you need to make sure that your team's around. So I do hope that MYA is able to make the necessary changes here coming into game number 2 of match number 2.
I think what you need to do is take a page out of IDNS Thailand. That patience you saw, not overextending, making sure that, you sort of, all your basics are done right, is something that you need to improving on. Hopefully they pick less of an aggressive, explosive team composition, or go completely insane and pick an even more aggressive composition, because I don't know how the Vexana necessarily fitted into that. If you wanted to go with a sort of crazy off-the-top mage initially, go with Aurora. The freeze would have been so much better, or Eudora for that matter, just nuking people down. If that's the sort of playstyle they want to be, going for, a little bit cheesy if you want to call it that, then commit 100% to it, and that's what we're expecting to see.
I feel like my biggest criticism with the fact that Vexana, I think in theory, it's definitely good in theory, I mean, Vexana has a skill whereby you're able to turn a 5v5 fight into a 6v5 fight with that ghost. But the fact is that when Vexana gets taken down, even before that she can cast a spell, or immediately after she casts a spell, she gets taken down, there's no more damage output. Yeah, you got 5 on 5, but that extra 6, the extra 1 person, right, is basically AI control. You don't have full control over it.
Yeah, I mean, and on top of it, you need to make sure that you're landing it so specifically to get the wrong person.
I mean, if you get a tank or a support that doesn't even do damage with their auto attack, then what's the point?
Yes.
Right? So I do feel that in theory the Vexana was a good pick, but in execution wise I felt just lacked the...
I think the oomph wasn't quite there.
Definitely.
However, we are going to see, I'm sure they feel the same way as well. With the drafting, perhaps needing to, swing either far left or far right even more. Let's see how they can, keep it up the next time around.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a very interesting, what's it called? It's long history of rivalry. Teams have researched one another, did their due diligence accordingly. But what's really important is the level of execution between these two teams. I feel that Asia Cyan just has a better execution. They just have a better...
I think it's also the confidence, to be honest. They have played with more members of the team next year. They have a little bit of a longer track record as well. That certainly, helps them.
I mean, definitely. I mean, giving you that confidence that you go into this tournament, you know what you're doing. You know for a fact that, yeah, we've beaten this team before, and we've had like many times where we've met these teams in scrims or whatsoever. It definitely gives you a little bit of confidence boost. But you can't let that confidence get to your head, though. I mean, I've always believed that sometimes losses only make certain teams better.
Yeah.
It just depends on whether or not they're able to execute. execute it.
Exactly, it's like cause rubble.
Exactly, that's
Yep.
working with you so
Aw.
much. Alright, so anyway, for those of you guys who don't know, who've been living on the rock, this is the Mobile Star League Bang Bang edition. We're going to be going into match number 2, game number 2. This is a double round robin format, so all teams are going to be fighting against each other twice by the end of it all. So you guys can't wait to see what's going to be happening. So here we are, this time MYA in the blue side, and Asia Cyan sporting the colors that they are known for, red.
The enemy
Well,
is
with
banning.
HSI being on the second pick this time around, we'll see, what sort of draft changes they make, or will they keep to the very same, winning formula that they had before this? Fanny being the first one to be removed. Angela now with the
Your
response
team
coming
is
up from
banned.
HSI.
I think it's still going to be the same thing. Grok will most likely be banned out just because of how his passive actually scales off with the rapid boots, and I feel that rotation is something that's really,
The
really
enemy
important
is
in a team composition. I mean, you always want to have a team that's able to rotate from one side of the map to the other as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So I think that picking up the what's it called? Picking up the Grok is going to be very interesting if he doesn't get banned out.
I definitely do want to see the Grok come true. So far, he has been banned out. Unfortunately,
Your team
still
is
very much
picking.
on trend here. Grok does get removed. We're not going to see the giant mountain there just yet. Padel, it's all on you right now. What will you have as the first pick?
Well, we do see here that coming in, Fanny and Marty's being banned out, as well as Angela and Grok. So I do believe that. I was just about to say
The
Hellcat.
enemy
I was
is
just
picking.
about to say Hellcat.
No, dear Nostradamus, Hellcat is chosen. Now quickly, on the other side, who is it going to be?
Alright, so I'm thinking that it's going to be the Lancelot, but the Hellcat though, I'm thinking about this Hellcat and I can't wait to see how this is going to be put in here because of the silence, because of the amount of disruption and the damage that he's going to be doing. So coming in from the side of Asia's side, Logan the Wolverine and Gripex now is going to go for it. Cho will be picked up here, but I do believe that Lancelot should be picked up. Or Grishan. Alright, so Grishan is going to be picked out here. So this could
Your
signify
team
that for the
is
side
picking.
of MYA, Lancelot should be open. I do like the fact that Logan the Wolverine did decide to go for the Gushan pickup on that first rotation. It definitely opens him up for counter bans here. For counter picks, excuse me, coming in from the side of MYA. So Flint now looking towards locking in the Lancelot and Minotaur. The Minotaur knockups I think is going to be really, really good here, especially with how enraged he gets and the amount of tanky stats that he's going to provide for the team. The CC itself is going to be something of legend
The
here, but
enemy
no,
is
it's going to be
picking.
Jarhead instead. What do you think about this Jarhead over the Minotaur?
I'm going to believe it's simply more of a comfort pick for
Well, why is that
for-
so
for
though?
MYA.
I mean, the Minotaur fits perfectly well in MYA's composition, comfort pick or not.
Well, comfort pick really matters for them because they may not be comfortable at all with Minotaur, the individual player. So that may in itself be a huge detriment. Alpha being picked up and Rafaela will seal a
team is
very
picking.
strong lineup coming in from Saiyan to deal specifically with a Hellcat Lancelot Joy composition. Still the hover over Gatokacha, I still believe that's them bantering with each other and that is not a serious pick.
Hopefully not. I don't think we've seen the Gatokacha in the meta for quite a while actually, despite the fact that he does have a very interesting hit and a Diggy. What's going on, Sudo? Like, wow.
I mean, you have the Diggy here just to avoid,
The enemy
to
is
create the
picking.
shield, to avoid a lot of the crowd control that's going through there, because they're sort of telegraphing that Asia saying once you have lots of team fights,
Yes, definitely.
which is true because of the Rafaela pick that's there. I do like the sort of response back and forth. However, having the Gatokacha there specifically doesn't quite add much value. The Hayabusa on the other side here will get locked in, and that just telegraphs split push as
Yeah.
a response to them wanting to team fight.
Well, it seems that everything is going to be locked in. Hayabusa now being locked in last, and he's going to go over to Fredo. Rush going to be holding on to his usual Cho. Penjahat definitely was a Penjahat on the Gushin. And Gripex now with the Alpha, so I'm really excited to see this Rafaela as well. So what do you think about this? They've got some really good sustain as well as damage dealers here, but the Diggy as well as Diggy as well as Jawhead and Hellcat could be a bit of a problem here for the side of Air Asia Cyan. What do you feel about this composition for both sides?
I feel MYA seems maybe a little bit more comfortable with the composition. Call it a sixth sense, but the draft seems a little bit odd, but like odd in their way.
Odd in their way because you'd expect to see the team that plays in a pretty textbook way to be picking off textbook picks, right?
No, not necessarily. It's sort of like the same time as like when Bane was picked up for IDNS Thailand, right?
Yes.
It was odd, but like not in a bad way necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. I mean, it's one of those things that's a little bit off the wall in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's just something that I believe that all of our preparation behind the scenes, we just kind of throw it out the window. I mean, I felt that the preparation that we made here seems to be not going in our way. I mean, we did see that Gushin and Martis are definitely going to be what's it called? Picked out and banned out. So we do have a bit of a pause here. We're gonna go back to us in a while. So here we are. There's a bit of a pause there. So a little bit of technical issues there that we are going to address really quickly.
But we're not sure what exactly is causing it for now. But the players have called up for it, so we're going to give it to them. Now, we are almost at that halfway mark of day one. So far, what do you think about MSL? I mean, this is the first time you're seeing the regions really compete outside of MSC.
Well, okay, now for me, I've always liked this double round robin format just because of how it's just designed to bring out the best level competition. Whether you are top tier, whether you are mid tier, whether you are low tier, it really doesn't matter, you know. I mean, you still go up against the top tier teams. I mean, some people in the comments are saying some really mean things, like everything, right? But the thing is, right, that I feel that the most important thing is the fact that every week the competition is going to be lasting from the July 10th to August 25th every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So that's something on the frequency of law. Weekly engagements on our teams as well, because
I think, you know, speaking about that more specifically now, yes, out of the 5 countries, you know, there's so much of action going on over the weekends. Now you also have it on the weekdays.
Exactly.
That's really just across the region, and I think that's what's having MSL specifically. Well, added to the fact, we have more jobs as casters.
Yeah, more jobs. Even though observers are working hard, isn't it?
Yes.
So anyway, jokes section here, so hopefully it won't take too much time. But let's talk a little bit up in. What to expect and what. So, Rafaela, Alpha, Hayabusa, Gushin, and basically like a paramedic. Basically, whenever there is whenever someone's dying, she's gonna go Nino, Nino, and just save someone, right? So how do you feel that MYA could actually play around that? They do have a little bit of tankiness.
But the thing is, you just don't play around it. I mean, the whole fact that if Rafaela is going to be the one rotating around, it means she's going to be linked. She's going to leave 3 lanes empty, and that's where you sort of take advantage of what you have. Now, on the other side, you have Gatukacha, Diggy's who's a relatively decent pusher, and Lancelot as well, which are able to stabilize the waves, which is something for yesterday. Sorry, in the day would be a little bit better. You know, if they can do that. However, it's a tall task to do.
I mean, assuming they can do that. I mean, that's the problem with some. I think that's the problem with certain mentalities. I believe variables. You've got to make sure that the stuff that you put in, whatever resources that you want to put in, like putting all your putting all your bread in one basket, putting all your eggs in one basket. Excuse me, bread. Excuse me. So putting all your eggs in one basket definitely is not going to be a smart choice to do. But sometimes that's the only way that you gotta go. And we do see King Fredo now taking a lot of damage here. Goes whoosh, whoosh, whoosh into the shadows.
Well, I mean, especially at level 1, that's there, you want to see Hellcat, you know, get that advantage over him. Yeah.
Now Alpha now looking towards getting a little bit of damage. damage put out here. Gripex, look, the ace now has to receive that. The Hermit Crab will be, Rush gets silenced out. Tries to go for the Jikundo. Jikundo is good, goes for the flicker.
Amazing flicker away to safety. Really good patience coming in from Nin that's there, but also playing with fire there. Ace needs to be cautious about this. Does go into the end. Obviously, Diggy does get dropped in the bottom side here. Lancelot will get the kill up to the top. Oh, nice! We'll be able to get 2 kills out of it. And look at that wonderful little chick there.
Get tossed over, ladies. Get tossed over, ladies, because Jawhead's gonna toss you over his shoulder. And man, oh man, was that really done well from the side of MYA. They were able to toss him over, and what beautiful play that was. Ace and everyone followed up really well coming in on the side of MYA. MYA now, early on, already has so much, what's it called? A lead here coming in. Oh, but it might not be it. Looking towards it. Oh, will they be able to get it though? No, they won't. Oh, Flip that V now getting it done. No, it is not. We do have to see now that Nin now is in a bit of trouble here. We'll be able to get a little bit of damage here, but between Nin and King Fredo is going to be very interesting to see how this is going to be done. And we do see that for the side of Flint, we do see that he is going to be pushing out over to the mid side here. Rush coming in. Could it be that they want to set it up? Oh, Padel now going for it. Will he be able to go for the toss again? The ejector. No, he won't.
Unfortunately, he will not be able to quite find the right injector at this point. Away then, great, ultimate timing coming from Shadow. Does come in the taunt there. Rafaela might be the next one to fall down in the end. Rush is chasing Flint away. Will manage to bring him down. Ended on the other side, as well as Rafaela now will succumb to the damage. Shadow does flicker away right into the end. That sliver of health will keep him survived.
Oh, Gripex in a bit of trouble here. Could this be a little bit of greed from Padel? Padel gets taken down. What were you thinking, Padel?
Oh my word, it was so close on so many sides here. Nin going up against Fredo will be able to do it. Not quite, does not have the right amount of charges to burst down the Hayabusa. And especially now given its past, that level 4, the turnaround and that sort of 1v1 is absolutely insane. In fact, we're going to see it happen right now. The silence goes through, but it will only delay the inevitable.
Wow, coming in here, kills coming around all over the place, coming in from Asia Cyan now. Asia Cyan has a little bit of lane priority, focused towards the mid side here. They are going to be pushing it out. Keep more health back. I'm really interested to see whether or not King Fredo will be able to sustain it out. Look at the amount of damage that he does onto Ace, shadowing in and shadowing out. We do see over to the top side here a little bit of interesting pickups here. And what is this coming in from the Gato Kacha? So many little armors. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, to be the extra little bit of tanky, stats that you want to have up there. Perhaps might be able to help out, but with Saiyan now being able to secure a turtle, they do push their goal lead firmly into 1000 position ahead.
1000 goal in favor of Asia Science. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to work here. For the side of MYA, we are going to see that they are turtling up a little bit more. Rotations are working in favor for the side of Asia Science. We do see a bit of pressure being put onto MYA, onto the mid side here. Flint now not looking too confident in himself to go for it, so he will decide to go for some of these objectives here. Padel coming in. Hopefully Padel will not live up to that greed like how he did in that previous fight here. Gripex looking towards getting some steal.
Looks like they will be able to find out yet another buzzer here. Rush does jump up into the high ground. Padel throws up the wrong target. Just Flint up into the air. A little bit of a toss there. And they should disengage it. But Fredo is saying, nope, I want a little bit across. Will be forced to flicker away because that is so out of position. Cautious about it. FVMYA looks as if they're being slightly strangled wherever they are going. Asia Saiyan is there to respond to the aggression.
But I do like the fact that in this game right here, in game 2 of match number 2 here, Big Cyan, and MYA is actually not shorty, isn't as high like we had in game number 1. So I do believe the adjustments here, Nin now taking adjustment has been made just because we're really relatively well in it.
I just have to see that the goal lead is quite steadily, on the side of Lancelot options. They would like to have it there. So Flint is doing an okay job, a little bit, sad to have better about it. Look at how Rush is playing, knowing the fact that there are multiple members of MYA there, still really confident because there's Rafaela and Alpha if anything were to break out. The sort of backup and corresponding, the communication that they have here is showing why Asia Saiyan is so comfortable just moving across the entire map, taking the objectives that they want, and we have a floating lord.
We have a floating lord, a little bit of a visual bug right there, and we do see Ace now looking towards getting some fights. Rush in the middle of it. He's got to be careful how it goes. There goes the last ultimate. This is going to be bad here for the side of Rush. Rush might get taken down. Rafaela gets taken down first, but King Fredo now will be able to do a lot more damage here. Nin goes away, goes for the rush here, and man, oh man, is MYA turning it around. 2 for 2 in advantage here, but over to the top side here, it seems that one member of Asia Side is pushing it out. Fredo now being silenced, does go shadow to shadow away, but Gripex was able to take down that top side turret and will be able to get a little bit more space, breathing space here. Top lane getting taken down and a little bit more pressure and priority being given to the top side here. Beautiful stuff being done by Gripex. He knew for a fact that he was too far away, and they knew for a fact that Asia side was going to lose that fight anyway. So why not just nip whatever losses that you have in the bud and just throw out and make sure that you get turrets, make sure that you get priority.
I mean, this is objective gaming. They were smart about it, and because of that, they have pushed their goal lead that much further ahead for themselves. Looking at it, Hayabusa is at 6,000 now ahead of the team that's there. It looks like they still want to have more fights.
I don't know why I don't know why MYA keeps doing this. MYA needs to actually pick off one of these one member from Asia Sign one by one. But because of how Asia Sign is moving, they move like a unit. It seems that MYA is not able to do so. But a killing spree going over to King Fredo just as D-Ace comes in with the ultimate. So this could be bad here. King Fredo goes for the push, goes for the chase, but decides to shadow away. So we do see a little bit of action here coming into the mid side. We do see priority being pushed towards the mid side, and Asia Cyan is most likely going to be able to take that turret down. And even if MYA does come in, this could be bad for them.
It is going to be severely bad for them. Look at the bait, the patience of waiting within the brush that's there. At the same time, in the bottom lane, we're going to see Chow and Hayabusa happily pushing. Will be able to secure the tower as well. And now they're split between the two. Do they give up the mid lane? They will have to. Do they go to the bottom lane? They can easily disengage from this. And look at the amount of damage that Fredo is just dishing out. The strongest member in the whole team and across the map as well. They're moving as 5. They will be able to rotate back into mid, take the outer turret, and pretty much seal the deal.
Well, Rush beautifully set that kill up here, coming in with that Wave of the Dragon right into the Hayabusa ultimate. I believe that was just beautiful synergy being shown here by Asia Cyan, and it seems that Asia Cyan, if they keep up this performance, they will be able to be the first. They will be able to be the team that gets 2-0 over FVMYA.
Well, certainly they're hoping for that 3 points to put them, in the upper section of the standings. But still, putting up a good fight here is MYA, hoping to get out Rush here, but not quite it. Gigono does have the knockup to Padel. We're going to see Fredo completely aside. It's a 4v5 in the bottom lane. But the level advantage is just too severe.
Ace now has to use his ultimate to get away, so this is a very, very bad spot here for the side of FVMYA. They have to be careful. Padel now in the middle of it, and look at it. Hellcat will be able to take down the Hayabusa. So this is going to be that breathing spot, that breathing moment that MYA needs, but they need to mobilize towards the Lord as quickly as possible, because Asia Cyan might actually go for it. They do have all lanes pushing in their priority, so I do believe that that could be something that they could use in this current situation here. D-Ace now coming down, drops the fist down to the ground, but will not be able to go for it. Getting out as much as he can, but over to the top side, Pajama now almost gets damage was not enough and he was able to get away.
It does get a... The goal lead is 5,000 into the favor of Air Asia Sayan, hoping to equalize that a little bit further. Hellcat now does manage to get the top, still an outer turret still standing, which is in the mid lane. And it just shows you the amount of, you know, map control that's going to go on here. Looking at the items very quickly, a little bit too quickly. That's there. We're going to see that now finally we're going to see these secondary damage items come across for MYA. Now whiffs her ultimate, so this might be a potential for them to come back. Fredo does get tossed all the way to Shadow.
Oh my, this is bad here coming in. Shadow will be able to get away though. And look at that coming in. Lancelot on the killing spree, but it seems the Asia side will be able to go. And lock him down, beautifully writing the textbook over and over.
I mean, that was beautifully executed by there. Now, of course, there was the mistake of, you know, throwing Fredo, unfortunately, you know, on the wrong side there, forcing Shadow to use his ultimate, you know, not in the, you know, best opportune. Flicker in, kick back,
another
stun
one
from Rafaela as well, and the pull back coming in from Gush, and that's there. The knives will be the end of it all.
Rush now, guys push. Oh, DAce now gets flicked off in the wrong direction here. Gripex pushing it off over to the bot side here. DAce now pushing off as well as Flint here. Gripex goes in for the re-engage, and it could be bad here coming in from the side of Ace. And we do see that more and more the Lord now is pushing off. Interesting game here coming in from the side of Asia side, because they have been they had a very dominant game 1, but for game 2 it's been a little bit rocky for them, but they do still repeat the same level of success here just by playing to their styles, just by playing to their strengths and exposing the weaknesses that is FVMYA.
Yeah, I think the word here is, you know, the word to describe FVMYA is a little bit too greedy.
I kind of agree and disagree to certain extents here. I do believe that MYA is doing their best to try to shut down members on though. Here comes the last push coming in. MYA going down one by one. Beautifully done coming in from the side of
deletion at the end of it. The amount of, and also like just right at the same time, just multiple members falling like flies.
Alright, for those of you at home, remember, tune into twitch.tv/mobilestarleague. We have English, we have Bahasa Melayu cast. And for those of you guys, mind you guys, what you guys are doing is illegal. So we are going to report you guys. So please, do the right thing and don't do such things. It's just not cool. So anyway, let's take a look a little here. What do you think about the score sheet?
I think the score is really reflective of the game. It was a, you know, messy, skirmishy people that's there. You also have seen that Rafael are looking at the different team members rotating around, and if it is because Asia Sayan is simply just mobile as a team, they rotate around, they shuffle people. MYA's side that's there, they seem to be more that within the kill stats.
The thing I like the most about this composition is the fact that Asia Sayan showed that they don't need reliable engage. That I felt that MYA had in abundance. They had reliable ways to engage the fight. They had reliable tanks.
If the enemy is running towards you, you don't need to engage.
Exactly. So I felt Asia Sayan is just it's just mind blowing to me to see that a team that just understands what they need to exactly needs to be in place in order for them to take advantage of all and just doing it. I felt that MYA played around their engagers, they played around some of their damage dealers, but I just felt that Asia Sayan just executed it way.
The understanding of the game and that specific matchup that they went up there. When we come back,
we're gonna be back.
We're gonna be seeing a whole new matchup come through.
whole new matchup. So you guys got to make sure you stay tuned and find out more. Remember, twitch.tv/Mobile Star League. That's where you go. See you guys in a bit.
We'll be back in 5 minutes.